Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody to today's Vijay Dashami program. So I'll start by chanting prayers to the spiritual masters, to Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, to get their blessings, and Shri Shri Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman, to get their blessings first, and then we'll get started. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudhadakamudam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagana Raghunatam Visantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Nilabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishahadosute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakarpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Devaja पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। Calling out to Lord Ram. Hare Krishna कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। Nice to see everybody again in Manchester. So today we are celebrating the festival of Vijay Dashami, or sometimes known as Dussera. Sometimes known as Dussera. So what does everybody know about this festival first before we get stuck in? Why are you all here today? Say loudly. Ram killed Ravan. Make sure you get it right way around. Yep. Sometimes you say Ravan killed Ravan. Oh wait. Yes, Ram killed Ravan. Yes, very good. What else is special about today?
Victory of divinity over evil.
Victory of divinity over evil. Okay. Divinity over evil. Why just divinity? Because when you speak about divinity, then we might think, oh well, I'm not very divine, so I don't really stand a chance. So not just divinity. Divinity is a representative of good, righteousness, dharma, versus adharma. Yes, versus irreligiousness. What's the opposite of righteousness? Unrighteousness. What else? What else does this day represent? Why have we come here today? What are we celebrating? That's it? Nobody else? Nothing else?
Pandavas completed their Ajnatavas and they got their original forms back. Arjuna got their from semi-vriksha, they got their weapons back.
Yes. So for those of you who know the Mahabharata story, the Pandavas had 12 years of exile, and in the 13th year they were in hiding. So this was the day that Duryodhana came and attacked the kingdom where they, because he suspected the Pandavas were there. And Arjuna revealed, yes, I am here. And he attacked the Kauravas. And what did Arjuna do? Single-handedly, he defeated every single Maharathi of the Kauravas, even Bhishma. They had divine weapons, and he put them all to sleep. Yes. So many things are so good over evil is especially celebrated today. And also, it's one of the things, this is the day that Durga Devi, she Mahish, yes. Again, so many wonderful, shall we say, killings. So many wonderful murders. So good killing, destroying, defeating, should we say, good defeating evil. So one other thing that I'll mention, we said like good versus evil, righteousness versus unrighteousness, like that. There's one other thing that I'd like to mention, something versus something. So to answer that, before we look at that, I wanted to first of all look at what are our real enemies, or should we say who are our real enemies. When we have an issue with somebody, what generally tends to happen is, so whether this is, I'm going to start spark some looks, some cuts here, whether it's the husband and wife, whether it's the mother and daughter, what's that, child, whether it's one leader with somebody else, whether it's the boss, the employee, the classic. Yes. So everybody thinks that's always the other person's fault. When something happens, especially when we are getting attacked, when we feel like, oh my God, something is happening, we always seek to blame who? We all seek to blame the other person. Now you may have heard of this example, that when we point, one finger is pointing to the other person, how many fingers are pointing to us? So then one person said, oh, so I should point like this. So, it's just an example here. Yeah, there's 3 fingers pointing to us. So we always think the enemy is outside. We always think the enemy is someone else. But here's where real transformation can happen. Here's where real, shall we say, success and actually peace in life can happen. Is when you recognize it's not the other person. Now that's deep. And to understand that actually the real enemy exists inside of me. Say again? The enemy within. It's an inside job. Right? The enemy within. The real enemy lies within. And until we don't conquer these real enemies within, we will always have issues with other people. Have you noticed that? There are certain people who always have issues with others, always have it, because we are not actually addressing the real enemy. The real enemy lies within. So the scriptures explain that there are 6 what we call anarthas, or enemies within, unwanted things. So what are those 6 things? What are the 6 things that the scriptures say? Lust, anger, greed, pride. Nobody here has pride. Right? Nobody here has an ego, right? You don't have an ego. Right? You don't have an ego, but you have a false ego. As soon as somebody says, well, I don't have any pride, you know they're offensive. I'm so humble. Yeah, because that's a sign of being humble, yeah? To boast how humble you are. So, lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, and illusion. Now, especially today, we're going to talk about how Ram, as I did yesterday, how Ram killed Ravan. Let me get it right. Okay. How Ram killed Ravan on this day. But one thing that not everybody is always aware of, I thought I'd share, is that Ravan actually represents one of these anarthas. Now, don't shout it out yet. I know some of you know. Don't shout it out yet. What I want to do is let's do all of them. So many of you will know the story of how 2 spiritual personalities in the Vaikuntha planets, they were cursed by the 4 Kumaras. What were their names? Jay and Vijay. So they were cursed to come down to the material world. And Lord Vishnu gave them the option that you can have 7 lives as devotees or 3 lives as demons. And what did they opt for? Why?
Less duration.
Because then they can come back to the Lord quicker. Yeah. And the Lord knew that. And the real reason, Srimad Bhagavatam explains, the actual reason why the Lord arranged this pastime, this lila, is because Lord Vishnu wanted to fight somebody. He wants to fight. He enjoys that chivalrous fighting. How many of you have brothers and sisters? Isn't it? Sometimes you just feel like having a go at your brother or sister for no reason at all. I haven't done anything wrong. You just like spark something off. You're like, for example, I was going to hate me for saying this, but anyway. For example, my son, his name is Akroda Nitai. Now, Akroda means what? Doesn't get angry. But you know there's one person that can make him angry. There's only one person who ever makes him angry. You know who that is? His sister, not me. Even I can't make him angry. The person who gets under his skin is his sister. She gets it. She knows exactly where the right thing to do and bugs him and he's like, get out of my room! Like that. So we have this, and she does it on purpose because she likes to have this chivalry, like this banter with him. She likes to get that side of him, get the it's like a rust, it's like a nectar, like that, to have this, it's a loving fight. So similarly, the Lord enjoys this loving fight with the demons. So when the Lord wants to fight somebody, He doesn't just pick somebody ordinary. He doesn't just pick, Joe Blogg's next door neighbor. He has to pick somebody who's very powerful. If the Lord wants to, let's say there's a mafia boss in Manchester, right? There's some kind of top drug dealer or something like that. If the Lord wants him dead, what does He have to do? Give him one heart attack. Finish. The Lord personally doesn't need to come and fight. So the Lord arranges that His dear devotees, Jay and Vijay, will come down. And when He fights them, wow, that's a real fight. Like, wow, He really feels it, like, whew, that was a good fight. Wipes the flowers off his body. Right? That was a good fight. Has to kind of pat himself down, like, wow, I really felt good having that fight. If it's too easy, there's no enjoyment. So, who are the first two demons that Jay and Vijay come as? Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Then Ravan and Kumbhakarna. And then Shishupal and not Kamsa?
No.
Most people think it's Kamsa, right? Yes. Very good. Give yourselves a round of applause. So Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, Shishupal and Dantavakra. Now, interestingly, each one of these demons represents one of the 6 anarthas that we just said. Notice the 6 of them? They represent each one represents one of the 6 anarthas. So, any guesses? Who does Hiranyaksh represent?
Was it in order what you should have made?
No, I did it, I put it in order and I was like, oh no, something clever, he's going to pick that up, so I mixed the order. So it is not the order which I showed originally. So you're thinking, is it in this order? No, that's not.
Ravan for lust.
Ravan for lust, okay. Any other takers?
Shishupal for envious.
Shishupal for envious. Hiranyakashipu? Pride, okay.
Greed.
Confusing.
Hiranyakashipu for greed.
Who else have we got? So think about what's left. What quality? Hiranyaksh? Anger, okay. Any other takers? Hiranyaksh, greed, okay.
Is Kumbhakarna illusion?
Kumbhakarna, illusion or madness, yeah. We have one more. Dantavakra.
Anger.
Oh, Damn, did I give it away? Yes. Hiranyaksh is greed. Hiranyakashipu, pride. Ravan, lust. Kumbhakarna, madness, for illusion. It's always thinking. Shishupal, envy. Always so envious of Krishna. Always criticizing him. And Dantavakra, anger. So angry all of the time with Krishna. So anybody, is this the first time, raise your hand if this is the first time you're seeing this or understanding this. Raise your hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Particularly the sixth one.
Say again.
Sixth one first time. Okay.
Dantavakra. Of course, today's one, Ravan. Oh, shall I do it? So if anybody wants to take a photo of it, now's a good time to take a photo. Put it up on your status. People are, is this person gone mad? So today, yes. So when we, we were saying at the start, so was it good versus evil, or good defeats evil? Dharma defeats adharma. What can we say here? Love. That's it. Let's give him a round of applause. Today also represents love over lust. Is that right? Yes. Lord Ram is the representative of divine love. Ravan is the representative of full-on lust. I know many of you here love Shub Vilas Prabhu. He's like the Ramayana expert. And I was just reading his 5th book, I think it is. And in one of the chapters, I had to almost like put it down because it was so descriptive of how lusty Ravan is. Like, it was explaining how he got up from the bed and there's all these women there who are not wearing any clothes like that, and he goes into a lot of descriptive detail. And still, even though he had the beauties not just of earth, he had the beauties of the entire universe. He stole from the heavenly planets, from wherever he saw a beautiful girl, even if she was married, he would take her for himself. His palace was full of them. And still, he wanted Sita. What does that tell you about lust?
No boundaries.
Insatiable. That's right. Yes. What did you say? Unending. Yeah. So insatiable. So the example is given that just like a fire, when you put fuel into the fire, what happens to the fire? There's more. So you say, okay, and put some more fuel. What happens? Grows even more. Lust is insatiable. So we have to understand that, see the example of Ravan, and every time he, not every time, but many times he tried to satisfy his lust. You know what he got as a result?
Sweet.
He got, you know how many curses he got? I thought it was 5, but according to according to Shub Vilasi's book, he actually got 18.
18.
In this version of the Ramayana, I only read 5, but I think he was summarizing, like he only gave a synopsis, like a short version. But if you read Shub Vilasi's book, it says 18 curses. I was like, oh my God. Still he didn't stop. Can you believe it? Getting curse after curse after curse. You'd think somebody with some little bit of intelligence would think, okay, you know what, better calm down a bit. But this is the nature of lust. It is so powerful. What does Krishna say in, what is it? First of all, Arjuna asks in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 20 or 30, I can't remember which one. What is that force? First, what does Arjuna ask? What does Arjuna ask? What is that force that impels a person to act, even against his own will? Even though he knows this is going to this is going to have bad consequence. Still you act. Still we do that activity. What is that?
Lust only.
And Krishna says, lust only, which is the... Now you can say.
All devouring sinful enemy.
Of this world. Such a powerful... it's the all-devouring sinful enemy of Radha. So in one sense, we look at these demons and we think, yes, good, the Lord killed them, yes. But actually, all these demons exist, even today. Where?
Inside us.
So now do you understand that when I say you, I mean we, when we blame other people, when we look at other people as they're the problem, first of all, remember there's 3 fingers pointing back to us. Actually, it should be 6. What are the 6 fingers?
Greed, pride, lust, malice, envy, anger.
Or, if you want to give them a person, Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, Shishupatantavakra, they live inside of us. Now, if you think like that, that completely changes how you view things when you have that realization. Because now when you're attacking the other person, when you're having sleepless nights and thinking, why is that person doing that? You know what? I'm going to get revenge on them. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. Who's acting? Who's acting? Tantava. Isn't it? If you think like that, that's like, whoa. I'm Dantavakra. I'm Shishupal. When devotee plays Mridanga better than us.
Shishupal.
How did he get so good? I'm going to practice more. Right? I'm going to spread rumors. That's Shishupal. Shishupal acting through us. Lust I don't even talk about. I think pride. Hiranyakashipu. Right? When somebody cooks in the kitchen, makes first class prashad. Right? Everybody comes up to the cook. Wow, Mataji, amazing prashad. What Hiranyakashipu comes up and says? I did. I'm the best. Yes. Look, everybody recognizes who I truly am. Isn't it? That's how we feel. I always tell this example. I remember once I was cleaning in Birmingham Temple, and I used to go from university when I had breaks. I used to go to the temple, and there was one day I was cleaning. There's nobody else there. I must have spent 1 hour cleaning the entire temple room floor. I properly scrubbing it, everything, tidied everything away. It was spotless. And I had the broom in my hand. And I looked. Nobody in the history of ISKCON Birmingham has cleaned the temple like this. Then I was thinking, what a fool. This is Hiranyakashipu acting through us. So, when we take the example, has anybody ever had that experience? You've done something and you think, wow, I'm the best. And it's such a stupid thing, whatever it is. And who cares who's the best cleaner of the temple, like the temple floor? It's a completely wrong move. And just what I used to use to help myself get out of that consciousness is I always used to remember that the person who is, so there's 3 levels of devotees. So there's the neophyte, Kanishta, there's the middle, Madhyam, and then there's the topmost, which is the Uttam. And the Uttamadhikari thinks himself to be what? Or herself. Thinks, I'm such a fallen soul. I'm useless. And the Kanishta Adhikari thinks themselves what? I'm the best. So whenever that thought used to come, oh, I'm the best, what did I immediately tell myself? See, that's Kanishta symptom. Okay, yes. So that used to help curb pride. So that very much helps. So Ravan, he had obtained all these curses. And one of the curses was very important. Because this curse was from one of the heavenly beings. And he cursed Ravan that if you ever try to force yourself onto a female without her consent, you will die. Now, why was this important in Lord Ram's pastimes? So therefore he didn't, he kept requesting Sita, please marry me, please marry me, please marry me. And Sita, one of the curses was actually in a previous life, in a previous, shall we say, incarnation, this particular Sita, I'll explain who in a little while, her name was Vedavati. And she was there, like effulgent, there in the forests, in the jungles, and she was meditating on Lord Vishnu for her husband. And Ravan came in his Pushpa Viman. And when he grabbed her hair, you know what she did? He pulled her, all of a sudden, he fell. Why? Because she cut her hair, you know what with? With her hand. Wow.
Martial arts.
That's next level martial arts. She cut her. That's why Ravan was shocked. He was like, he had hair in his hand. He was like. So then she said, I curse you that because you have contaminated my body, I will be the cause of your death in my next life. And so saying, she invoked the fire element in her body and she immolated herself. Ravan saw the hair thrown into the fire. Remembering this curse, before he kidnapped Sita, he thought, could Sita be Vedavati incarnate? But then he remembered what? How beautiful she is. And even though he suspected that it could be the incarnation of Vedavati, his lust completely took over. This is the clever trick of who? Whom in the Ramayana pastime? Shurpanaka. She knew exactly how to get her brother. She described her every beauty, the curves, the hair, her eyes. Oh, you would never find a person like this in the entire three world. Ravan was like, really? This is who I've been looking for all my life. And so, after kidnapping her, so many people told him, give Sita back, give Sita back, give Sita back. Still he couldn't let go. This is the nature of lust. So what is it that conquers lust? What is it that conquers lust? Love. Did I say the answer? It is love that conquers lust. Now if you look at the definition of lust, what is it? And look at the definition of love, what is it? Okay, let's look at lust first. Start with Ravan. It's sense. What does that mean? I remember reading I used to read the Bhagavad Gita when I was young, and my mom used to tell me, just read it. I was like, Mom, I don't understand it. And I used to see this word, sense gratification. What on earth does that mean?
Enjoyment for yourself.
Enjoyment for yourself, your senses. So lust doesn't just mean the typical thing that people think of, boy girl type thing. Lust actually means any kind of satisfying my own senses, whether it's eyes, ears, whatever part of the body it is, like that. And we're so attached to that. We're so desirous of that. We are even willing to commit sinful activities for that. To break the laws of God for that. Now, how does love conquer lust?
Love of Krishna.
Love of Krishna. Okay. This is very good theory. Very good theory. Love of Krishna. Who here has love of Krishna? Good theory. So Krishna consciousness is a process. And we are gradually elevating. Just like this, if you look at the stairs, the goal is the first floor. But where are we starting from? Somewhere along the stairs. Sorry, not starting. Where are we? Somewhere along the way. Some of us are lower, some of us are middle, some of us are high. But wherever we are, we may not actually be there yet. We're in the process. So how do we conquer lust? The desire for answer, but love conquers lust. Okay, great. So what does that mean?
Love is to do something to satisfy others.
Love means to satisfy others. In other words, in other words, to add. If you look at lust, who is in the center? Yourself. If you look at love, who is in the center? Who's in the center? Let me listen carefully.
The person that you love.
The person that you love, yes? Including who? Okay, including Krishna, yes. Okay, he's one of them. But including who, which is what many people forget. Like Gaurav. Wow, you're very merciful. Gaurav actually pointed this out to me. I want you to think of, it's a good test. I want you to think of who are the top 3 people that you love. Think of it right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, go on. Got top 3? Top 3 people that you love? Quickly.
Myself.
Okay. He's already seen the video. How many of you said had yourself in the top 3? See, people don't even think of it. So love, this is why I said the highest goal, yes, is to have Krishna. But along the way, along the stairs, we also need to love ourselves. But people don't think that. Even as devotees, we're not told that enough. So as part of that, when we are fully Krishna conscious, do we need to love ourselves? When we gain pure love from the Lord directly, do we need to think about ourselves? Does Narada Muni need to say, I love myself?
No.
No. He's getting it from Krishna. He's getting unlimited source of love from Krishna. He doesn't need to think about it. He doesn't need to worry about where's my next food meal going to come from. Completely surrendered to Krishna. He has love. But at least while we're on the stairs, while we're in the process, we also need to add ourselves in that. Take care of yourselves. Confirmed. I'll pay you later. This is something that I've seen because I've been around in the movement for many years, and I've seen that sometimes what happens is we get so caught up in service, we get so caught up in so many other things, we lose ourselves. And what happens is, many years later, that person then regrets. And then sometimes even leaves the movement, leaves the community. Because, nobody gives to me, nobody. But you didn't take care of yourself all these years. Now you're expecting the community should have looked after you. So a very serious point is, even from right now, even from young age, we want to get this message out there. Love means, yes, doing service, yes, loving Krishna, yes, all these things, as well as looking after yourself. That's love. Why?
You can't save anybody else if you haven't saved yourself.
You can't save anybody else if you can't save yourself?
You have to look after yourself first, then you can look after the
Because you have to look, only if you look after yourself can you, if the tank is empty, how are you supposed to give? Yeah?
Give something when you have it.
You can give something when you have it, yeah.
Battling lust. Battling lust. Fighting lust.
Fighting lust, yes.
You are also part and parcel of Krishna.
Yes, that's the answer I was looking for. We say the goal is to love Krishna. We are part of Krishna, correct? So if we don't love ourselves, doesn't that mean there's a part of Krishna that we don't love? That's what Srila Prabhupada says. We are part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore you must love. Srila Prabhupada actually says, I was like, wow. Of course, Srila Prabhupada would have said it. Because you also have to love yourself, because you're part and parcel of Krishna. So sometimes we get lost in the philosophy, we get caught up, and we forget about ourselves. I think there's different extremes. Lust means we're thinking about ourselves too much. Love means to love others and ourselves. See? To know our limits, to know our boundaries. So, in the process of Krishna consciousness, we are trying to love Krishna. In this case, take the example of Lord Ram, as in we are speaking about Lord Ram today, so we can say to love Lord Ram. And by his blessings, we can conquer Rava. Like you said, divinity over evil. So if we get the blessings of divinity, then we can conquer evil. Can we by ourselves conquer lust? No? You can try. But only Krishna can. Say again?
The mercy of Kripa of Krishna is important because everybody has been put into this Methun agra, so that's how the punishment is basically.
Okay.
So it's only his mercy that can.
So it's only his mercy that we can, yes. So if you look at it's chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita, I forget which verse it is, but one of the Prabhupads, Srila Prabhupada explains that when the love that we have for Krishna, when it comes in contact with the mode of passion, it transforms into lust. And then that lust, what happens to it? Lust actually has two daughters or children. Nice try. No? So it has anger and greed. When a lust is satisfied, what happens?
Greed.
We get greed. When a lust is not satisfied, we get
Anger.
notice? See how they connected that? So anger, look up here. So anger and greed are children of lust. Isn't that interesting? One of the Puranas explains that. Anger and greed are children of lust. So all of these anarthas, we cannot destroy them ourselves. We need the mercy of Lord Ram. We need the mercy of the divine to be able to remove these anarthas. So one of the key things that we do is we don't just focus on trying to remove the enemy. We don't necessarily focus on it directly. We have, shall we say, principles in place. No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit relationships, no intoxication, that kind of thing. Like we have principles in place. But we don't have to focus on it directly. What is it that we do have to focus on? Focus on? Focus on chanting. Why? Because? Okay, it purifies the consciousness of material contaminations. Okay, talk to me in more specifics. How is it by chanting God's names? It destroys Hiranyakashipu, Ravan inside of us, essentially.
It's an internal potency of the Lord.
Change of heart.
Change of heart in what way? It cleanses us in what way?
Gets rid of desires.
It gets rid of desires.
Changes our desires.
Changes our desires.
Removes anartha.
It removes anarthas. It removes the unwanted things. How? Right, you're still not hitting the...
When we chant the glories of the Lord and glories of the devotees. That way we associate with devotees and we get their qualities gradually.
Okay, so by hearing about the devotees, hearing about the Lord, we start to develop their qualities. Wonderful.
Increases love.
It does increase love. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Bhakti has got two daughters, Jnana and Vairagya. So once you do that, it will automatically kick in.
Okay.
And then.
Okay. Good. That's so. I just wanted to make one point here. Everything you said is correct. I just wanted to make it even more specific. So there's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam You know that verse? Nasta Priyashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhakti. So what happens?
Nashtaprayeshu.
So what happens?
All the Budras
Destroys the unwanted things.
Unwanted desires, yeah.
See?
But yeah, thereby irrevocable love unto the lotus feet of the Lord is established.
Yes, as an irrevocable fact. Yes. So what happens is by hearing about the Lord, hearing the pastimes, thinking about the Lord, chanting the Lord's holy names, who is it that actually destroys these anarthas in the heart?
Krishna in the
The
heart.
Lord Himself does it. Everything you said is correct. But I was asking how. It purifies us, correct. How? Krishna Himself does it. Krishna, Super Soul, is there in the heart. He sees your sincere endeavor. And He says, okay, Gaurav, you take your pride. I said, take your pride.
And that's very important.
I know what he's been through recently. The Lord starts to take it Himself. The Lord clears that from our heart. We can try as much as we want. Can we get rid of lust?
No.
No, it's at a fundamental level. I think once Bhakti Charamraj, His Holiness Bhakti Charamraj, he asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, when do you get rid of lust? He says, when you die. And Bhakti Charamraj is a sannyasi, and he's still like, when does this go? Prabhupada said, when we die. In other words, when we get our purified, pure spiritual body. Yamuna Acharya is a great devotee. He says, when thoughts of lust come into my mind, my lips curl up and I spit out the thought. But he's a pure devotee. But he's a pure devotee. Do pure devotees still get thoughts of lust? Yes. But it's what they do with it. Immediately he thought, it's disgusting. He used to be a king in many wives. So sometimes the past memories may come. But as soon as they come, now how is that possible? By the mercy of? By the mercy of Krishna. Now that same thing that he used to love, lust. He used to love lust. The same thing he used to love. Now, disgusting. Because he's got a higher taste. So love is the higher taste that conquers lust. So in Ramayana, the Ravan kidnapped Sita, and Ram, along with all the monkeys and bears, came to the shore, came to the island of Lanka. The bridge that crossed the ocean, it was how many miles wide? 80 miles wide. That's like the distance from Manchester to Birmingham, like 80 miles wide. And how long? How far? 800 miles. That's how far Lanka was from the shores of India. Wow. Can you imagine? Such a difficult task. And that entire army then landed in Lanka. And there was such an incredible fight. And in that fight, there were times where, for example, great demons like Indrajit, he overpowered Rama and Lakshmana. Did you know that? He overpowered Rama and Lakshmana. So he had Mayavi powers, mystic powers, and all of a sudden he disappeared. His chariot, along with him, disappeared, and he went up into the skies, and he was showering, using the Brahmastra, he showered the entire army of Lord Ram, to the point where even Lord Ram and Lakshman fell to the ground unconscious. So many arrows had pierced their body. And what was the reason for that? What was the reason that Ram allowed that to happen to himself and Lakshman? Anybody know? Because they were honoring the Brahmastra. if they had, shall we say, exhibited their divinity, they would have dishonored the shall we say, the laws of Lord Brahma. So to honor the laws of Lord Brahma, they fell down in grudges. And it's at this time, Hanuman, Jambavan told Hanuman, go get the Sanjeevi. And so he went to, Sanjeevi was one of them. There was actually quite a few. This is from Valmiki Ramayana. So Hanuman went to the mountain, and when he searched for those herbs, because those herbs were only supposed to actually be for the devtas, the herbs actually hid themselves in the ground. So Hanuman's looking, he's looking, can't find anything. So what does he do? He says, forget this. And he lifts up the entire mountain and brings the man from the Himalayas, brings it all the way to Lanka. And at this point, then, it was Vibhishan. Vibhishan then came, because he's a demon, he had the mystic power. He actually found all the herbs and he gave them. And Hanuman immediately crushed the herb, and the fragrance from this herb brought Ram and Lakshman back to life. So I'm going to ask you to do something here, and then we're just going to do one more thing, then I'll finish the last time. So one thing I'm trying to encourage as our leaders, one thing I'm trying to encourage is for congregation to get to know each other. So I'm going to just from this one pastime that I just told, anything else you want to discuss, what I'm going to ask you to do is I want everybody to stand up. I'm going to ask you to find somebody in the room that you don't necessarily know so well. Okay, ladies with the ladies, men with the men. We want to conquer the lust. So stay within the genders. Find somebody in the room that you don't know so well. I don't know if he's going away some numbers tonight. Phone numbers. And discuss, what do you understand from this pastime? What do you understand from, what do you take from what we discussed today in the class? Okay, so everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Go find somebody in the room that you don't know so well and discuss the real person. You've got 2 minutes. There's an opportunity to get to know your what did you take from today? Okay, you come. Second, you come.
I learned that God is
30 seconds left. 30 seconds left.
not working
Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so I'll just pass the mic round. There's 2 people giving each other a hug. So So like this, if you can encourage whoever speaks to do an exercise like this, because then what happens is, people who didn't know each other before, all of a sudden break the ice with each other, and now during Prashadam or next time they come, they're like, oh, I know that person, and they're much more comfortable speaking. So we're trying to encourage all congregations in the UK to do that. Alright, so I'm going to pass the mic round. If you just want to share, you just don't keep it to not more than 30 seconds. I know sometimes people get the mic and
You can get the mic.
and then I have to get back to Birmingham later today.
Okay, so I met Naman Prabhu.
You don't need to tell us the history, just give me the point straight away. What did you take?
Okay, the points Naman Prabhu and Visakha shared is like, those are the bad qualities within ourselves, and we can remove those bad qualities with the help of Krishna and by chanting the holy names of the God.
We didn't got to the point where we just got to it.
You're part of the same group, so pass the mic around. It's not that you have to speak, just pass the mic around to somebody who wants to speak.
One point that we discussed was that the unmetas are actually destroyed by Krishna in our heart. If we take the effort to chant the names.
You take the chant the names properly. Good. Okay, pass it around. Pass it around.
Krishna, I talked to Ravina Mataji and we discussed that we should love ourselves too.
Yes, very good. Pass the mic around. The mums, especially in the room, need to hear this. I think dads are generally a bit better. They always put, the mums especially always put their kids first at the expense of
I
themselves.
met Devashi today and we discussed love yourself because you are a part and parcel of Krishna.
Oh, beautiful, thank you. Thank you. Okay, pass the mic round to this side of the room now. This side of the room. Okay, somebody from here? Manisha? No, stop there. Use the mic.
So we discussed the same point as the completely different. All these 6 elements will be inside of us, and only by chanting that we can remove it. Doesn't mean we will remove it 100%, but it will be that, but we can reduce it.
Yeah. Okay, so I know everybody discussed these points with us. When especially do we need to remember this? You don't have to remember all the time, especially when.
When you're facing this problem.
When we are facing a problem from from somebody external. The first thing we do is we think, they're my enemy. We think the other person is my enemy. So at that time, this is especially when we need to remind ourselves of what? The enemy is not them, actually. The enemy is within me. They are just the what? They are the trigger for the enemy within. They say something and we get totally angry. Why? Because we have Dantavakra inside. How dare she say that to me? Right? Immediately Dantavakra raises its head.
Orange juice.
Say again?
Orange will only give orange juice. So what will come out of us?
Yeah, that example of when you squeeze orange juice, what comes out? Orange. So when
He's an orange juice.
oh, what did I say?
When you squeeze the orange juice, the orange comes out.
I think you did first. Thanks for rewind. When you squeeze orange, when you squeeze an orange juice comes out. So when life squeezes, in other words, whatever's inside comes out. When life squeezes you, what comes out? Whatever is inside. See? So as more we chant nicely, as more we practice Krishna consciousness nicely, when life squeezes us, what will come out? Juice. I hope not. What come out? Love. The more we practice Krishna, the more that the love overcomes the lust. When life squeezes us, love will come out. Isn't that amazing? And it's actually exhibited by Sita Devi. Because after, I was going to tell this later, but time is running out. After Ram killed Ravan, then he sent Hanuman to go and see the mood of Sita. And when Hanuman went to the, what's it called? The Ashoka Vatika. When he went there, then he told Sita everything. Sita was so happy, she's so pleased. Then he looked at the Rakshasis. Said, hey, Sita, should I kill these lot as well? They've been tormenting you, torturing you for the past 1 year, nearly. Can you imagine their faces? Uh-oh. And what was Sita's reaction? Immediately. No. Why? They're just following the orders of Ravan. And then she said, even if they did evil, that doesn't mean I should do something evil. That doesn't mean I go down to their level. So all this time they were torturing her, was she harboring revenge? What do? Somebody says one thing, right? We're planning. On social media, somebody just says one thing about us, right? What do? Attack, 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 attack. Right? Like arrows. Like arrows. Attack like arrows. The whole year, Sita was being tormented. She didn't say kill her. Sita Devi ki Jai. Please continue. Round this area. Maybe two more, and then we'll start to round up. Somebody actually needs to speak, yeah?
He just pressed stop.
You've got it, Prabhu.
Prabhu, you speak. You speak.
Well, we all talked about this point before, but it's nice to reiterate that by chanting the holy name, you can acquire higher taste and get rid of these 6 anarthas. And that's like probably the best way if you're ever thinking like, oh, I'm the best, you got this pride in you. What's the best way to get rid of it? Chant the holy name, and slowly Krishna himself will help you.
Wonderful. Thank you. One more point.
We also just reiterated that point of if the goal is to love Krishna and then we are part and parcel of Krishna, then one must also love themselves. That's how Krishna will be fully loved. And then we also discussed the point of the demons. We knew about the 6 anarthas, but we didn't know which demons they correlate to, so it's nice to visualize that as well. Because you can have pastime example.
Yes, you've got an actual example that you can relate to. Wonderful. And thank you. And so when that anartha, when we exhibit that anartha, what is good to remember? When that anger comes out of us, when that greed comes out of us, when that lust comes out of us, what is good to remember? To remember the past and to remember the demon. And do you want to be like that demon?
No.
Very strong, no there. How old are you? 9. Yes, even at 9 years old she's saying, no! Yes, we have a wonderful devotee in the making. Yes. So by remembering, by attributing that quality to that demon, that's what makes you... But the TV's about to block. Pop on my head. By remembering that particular demon, that's what helps you to what? Yeah, isn't it? You feel disgusted. You feel like, oh, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like Ravan. So make that link. When we're exhibiting that quality, make that link with that demon that we don't want to be, that we don't like. Wash your hands. Especially through chanting the holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I think think time is running out. I wanted to tell the pastime of Ram killing Ravan, but I think it's more important that you can read that. You don't need me necessarily to tell you that. You want me to tell you that? Okay. There's 5 minutes for questions. So does anybody have a question?
How much is it for the whole evening?
You've got it. I've been told, actually, what time? 6:30. Oh, we can still have some time. Okay.
Are we going to do drama?
No.
Okay, then you have until 6:30.
6:30. Okay. 6:30. So we still got 20 minutes. Okay. Let me see if there are any questions. And if somebody asks the question, how did Ram kill Ravan, then maybe we'll talk about it. Yes.
If there is an external trigger,
Can we pass on one of the microphones?
Apparently they're not working.
They're not working.
That's why I've had to pass this one
Yeah,
down.
sorry.
What I can do is I'll repeat the question.
Yeah.
So, what I'll say this as well, have noticed sometimes when people ask a question, they give a whole life story first for 5 minutes, and then they ask a question. So what I'll say is also, please keep your question to 30 seconds, not more than 30 seconds. Yes, go for it.
if there is an external trigger and the demons don't surface up, anathemas don't surface, like people start treating you as a doormat, or they say, oh, this person is very easy to
Very good point.
yeah, or to, because, oh, so nice, we can do whatever we want. So how do you deal with that? Because now anathemas are gone, now you can't do it.
Now the anarchists are gone and so are you. It's a very good question. In fact, one of our devotees in Birmingham was just asking me this yesterday in the car, and he was saying exactly the same thing. Since coming into Krishna consciousness, I don't feel angry. Doesn't have that thing. So now what happens is, when people are bothering him, he doesn't react. And so they think, oh, this is good. I do whatever I want with this guy. And he's a big guy. And his friend was asking him, like, what happened to you? Why have you become like this? Is it too much spiritual life, I think. Too much chanting. So then I was explaining this story. So there's one pastime of Narad Muni, the same issue came up. There's one pastime of Narad. Now Narad Muni is an expert preacher, and he even could preach to animals. He could even preach to snakes. So he knows parcel tongue. You know what parcel tongue is? From Harry Potter. So he knew how to talk to snakes. So one day when he was traveling through the forest, then there was one snake that was attacking him. So immediately Narad Muni, obviously by his purity and power, he was able to convince the snake to take up Krishna consciousness, to become a devotee. Imagine a snake as a devotee. And one of the rules was he's not allowed to bite. Like this. So this snake became a great devotee, and the local villagers who used to be scared of that snake, especially the young boys, like, I'm sure all the sisters will know this. The young boys always like to, start a fight and all this kind of stuff. They always like to be a bit naughty. So then the boys, they heard that this snake has taken initiation from Narad Muni. Oh. So they went up to it and they noticed it didn't attack them. Oh, this is new. So gradually, one of them touched the snake. No reaction. Oh. So then they started to play with the snake. Then they started to throw the snake. Then they started to completely abuse it. The snake is like bleeding and everything. Narad Muni comes back. And he says, what on earth happened to you? He said, Gurudev, you told me not to bite. And so now everybody's abusing me. He said, I told you not to bite, but I didn't say you couldn't show your your fangs. Was anybody sleeping? So the internal consciousness, this is the key thing. The internal consciousness is soft. Sometimes externally, we have to show heaviness. We have to set boundaries. We have to push back. And we have to guard those boundaries. We have to maintain those boundaries. But the internal consciousness is soft. See? Just like Srila Prabhupada, sometimes he would shout at his disciples so badly. He would make grown men who were much bigger than Prabhupada, much taller than him, much, in one sense, heart stronger physically, like everything. He would make them cry. Believe it? That's how heavy he was. Such force. They would walk out the room. The next moment, he'd be turned to his servant and talk completely softly. What does that show? What does that show? It's controlled, yeah?
Internally he loves them.
Internally, it's done totally out of command. But externally, he's so angry. But he's not overcome by that anger. When we get angry, what happens? Right? You shout at the person, then when you go out the door, you slam the door. Then you go to the kitchen and, I don't know, you smash something else, you break the, you shut the cupboard like that. You still haven't finished. Then you see your child and then you start having a go at them and we're totally overcome by it. That's Dantavakra. Right? So externally we can show anger, externally we can show harshness, externally we can push back. Yes, good. You have to do that. You know that expression? Give a person an inch, and take a mile. So yes, sometimes you need to do that. Answer your question? Good question.
So, project. So, while practicing in removing the anarthas, as we slowly becoming successful, or like you gave the example of like Uttamadhikari always thinks that I am the most insignificant, I am foolish, something like yeah, like that. So, yeah, we understood, we are conquering by the help of Krishna or whatever practice, yeah. But again, that little pride that, I am foolish means I am Uttamadhikari.
Not the other way around.
Yeah, means that pride of conquering.
Yeah.
So, how can we, because that is very dangerous, isn't it?
Okay, very good question. Okay, so the question was, how do we conquer pride? Even if we think ourselves the most fallen, we might think, ooh, that means I'm Uttamadhikari. Wow, how great I am. I've never done it, that's never happened to me that way around. I'll remember that. So, I'm not humble enough to think I'm the most fallen yet. So I'm going to answer that question by kind of asking a different question. What is the difference between low self-esteem and humility? What is the difference between low self-esteem and humility? Because they look the same, but they are very different. Low self-esteem looks like this. Oh, Gauranath Prabhu asks, Nitai, would you give the class around? Oh, Prabhu, I'm so fallen. I don't know anything. How can I give a class, especially in front of you? You are such a senior devotee. I'm so nothing. And these devotees are so. How can I give a class? I'm useless. So I say, no, I'm not giving a class. Out of humility. Now, what's the difference between low self-esteem and humility? So if we say no to service because we think we are so fallen, and we are so useless and rubbish and all the rest of it, that's low self-esteem. Why am I sat here today? Because humility means I am so useless, I am so fallen, I am so rubbish, But Krishna is so great that he can make this stupid guy say something useful for the audience. It's completely empowering. Real humility means to understand the greatness of God and the insignificance of ourselves. The problem with low self-esteem is it stops there. We're insignificant. That's true. Yes, we are. But then we'd never get anything done. We'd not have a Krishna consciousness society. If Srila Prabhupada had low self-esteem, we wouldn't even have left India. Imagine if Srila Prabhupada had low self-esteem. I'm laughing because I'm just thinking of what he would be like. No, our Prabhupada was full humility, smashing the scientists. Full humility, smashing the atheists, convincing the hippies to become happies. Because his mood was, I'm useless, but Krishna is so powerful, he's going to empower me to do everything that's required. So when somebody asks you to do a service, there's one Pandasana girl in Birmingham, and we always ask her to sing in the program, which she never does. And then I explained this to her. And what she realized was, it was her pride that was actually stopping her. It almost became an ego thing that, oh, I'm so useless. It's almost like an intoxication. It almost becomes an identity. Oh, so useless. She was just saying no to it. Anything, anybody, I don't have to explain this to her. So what are you talking about? That's not humility. That's low self-esteem. Humility means I'm still going to have a go. Because Krishna's so amazing. He can empower me to do it. And that's what you see. Srila Prabhupada, he'd ask a disciple, start a printing press. We've never even done anything related to printing. If I ask one of you right now, start a printing press, I want you to start printing lots and lots of books. The first thing you think is what? I don't know where to start. What's that? It's mind-blowing. And the disciples are like, but they did it because they wanted to please Srila Prabhupada. They didn't even have, they've never had any association with the printing press except to read the result, the magazine. Now imagine they start printing Chaitanya Charitamrita. Back to God magazines, all the rest of it. And they started like that. Because they were empowered. They were empowered with love for Srila Prabhupada. Love for doing something great for this movement. So when your leader, when your temple president asks you to do something, at least have a go. Yes, we may not be the best at it at first, and you have to pray. Sometimes it's because that service isn't suited to our nature. Okay, fine. Maybe there's a different service which is more suitable. But the point is that do something. Because you are empowered by Krishna. Because you are an instrument, a vessel for Krishna. Let Krishna's power come through you. When I sit here to give a class, I don't give class in a very rigid way. I give class according to the audience. You know why? So pray to Krishna, pray to the Lord. My dear Lord, whatever the audience needs to hear, please use me as the instrument. Now, I don't know what the audience needs to hear. I'm not you. I don't know what you're going through. But then I have people coming up to me afterwards, wow, it was like you were talking directly to me. Yeah, why? Because Krishna was I just moved myself out of the way and I just let Krishna do the rest. I'm just giving you an example. The same is true of whatever service you're doing. You're doing a kirtan. Maybe you practice, you're going to do this tune, but then all of a sudden you get an inspiration in the heart and you end up doing this tune and the mridanga player goes, ooh, let's try this. Like that. Before you know it, it's like the whole temple room is dancing. It's like, wow, how did that happen? You didn't plan it. You're just a vessel for Krishna's energy to come through, for devotion, for Radharani's blessings to come through, for Sita Devi's blessings to come through. Move yourself out of the way. That's real humility. So it's not about destroying our ego, it's destroying our pride. It's about, in one sense, surrendering to the Lord. Allow the Lord's greatness to shine through you. Now the difficulty comes. Somebody will come up to you and say, wow, Prabhuji, such a great kirtan. Wow, Mataji, such a great feast you cooked. Now what do?
Kill the Hiranyakashipu.
So Hiranyakashipu may try to raise its head. What do?
Offer it.
You immediately offer it to God. What does humility mean? Remember, what does it mean? I'm useless, but Krishna's so great. So when they're coming and telling you, wow, you did amazing, what do you understand? First of all, you say, you can say Krishna's most beautiful. First of all, you say, thank you. First of all, accept their gift. They're giving you a compliment. Low self-esteem means, no, Prabhuji, it wasn't me, it was nothing to do with it. And I'm just like, have you ever had that experience? You're trying to give somebody a compliment and they just keep, it's almost like they keep throwing it off, It's like, why did I bother even trying to talk to you? So first thing is, say thank you, accept it, it's a gift. But you don't keep it. Who do you then give it to? Then you say, my Guru's mercy, Krishna's mercy. Krishna's just using, my Guru's just using me as an instrument. That way, it doesn't get to you, it doesn't become pride. But you still accept it, you offer it to the Lord. Because what does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? I am the ability in man and woman. Just in case. And the ability in man, and then the women go, oh, someone is us. Prakritya kriyamanani, kunai karmani savasa, ahankara vibhudatma. Ahankara, bewildered by the fall. Ooh, that was me. I'm so great. No. Now you've gone the other extreme. So to really address pride means this point. Yes, I'm useless, but Krishna's power is so great, and let him use me. And even then, when you get the feedback, the reciprocation, then offer it back to Krishna.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
Prabhuji, thank you for the class. I would just like to ask, do you know how you talked about self-love and all of that? How do you not mistake that for sense gratification? Because lots of the time you're like, oh, I need to, for example, I need to do this, but oh no, I'm not gonna love myself. It's hurting me, so I'm just gonna end up doing this, and then you end up gratifying your senses.
Okay, give me an example of that, a specific one.
Say you have to go to work.
Yes.
And then you just don't
How
want
old
to.
are you?
I'm 15.
Okay, you give me a work example? Okay, cool.
And then you're like, oh, I'm just gonna sleep in. I'm not gonna go work because I want to love myself.
Oh, I see. Right, yeah. Good one. I hope she's not talking on behalf of her parents. Yes, and so let me take an example. Let me take you back to you then. Let's say, I know you can't do this because your parents will whoop your. Like maybe you say that I don't want to go to school because I love myself, so I want to have a life. Yeah, you're at school, right?
Yeah.
Just checking. she just looked at me blankly. So, what at school, right? So, self-love. Let me get this right. Self-love is not selfish. Self-love is not self-indulgence. Self-love is not self-aggrandizement. In other words, praising yourself. Self-love isn't selfish. So real self-love means, in one sense, to charge yourself up so that you can give to others. So when somebody says, oh, you know what? Went to that class, Dussera class, yeah? Spoke about self-love. I spent all day watching movies. Yeah. That was the best self-love day I ever had. No, you missed the point. So, self-love doesn't mean self-indulgence. It doesn't mean you indulge your senses. Oh, self-love. I'm going to go and get that tub of ice cream from the freezer, the one that I've been eyeing up for the past week. Right, I'm going to eat the whole tub. That's not self-love. So self-love means, in one sense, to charge yourself up so that you can give to others. See the point? The principle is not actually about ourselves. The principle, that's why we said, mode of passion is where we only think of ourselves. Mode of goodness means what? In terms of love. It means we take care of ourselves so that we can give to others. The principle is to be able to, that you have done too much service, that you're really like tired from work, you're physically exhausted. I don't know, Jamashini Festival, something like that. Some festivals there, and you just give it, and you need a break. So what do? You take a break enough to be able to then continue your service. But to first of all, mode of goodness will actually mean you will notice that you are what? You are, before you get to that stage where you're totally burnt out, you already start to notice that. So self-love actually means to understand ourselves. Oftentimes, we don't recognize, we don't even look what's going on. I especially find this with mums, with young children. Often is the case. They're just giving and giving and giving and giving, and the husband's loving it, and then all of a sudden, one day, completely out of the blue, what happened? She snaps! And the husband's like, oh my God, where's this coming from? Whoa, what's going on? The kids are like, whoa, what happened to mommy? She loses the plot. Because she's given and given and given and given, and there's nothing left in the tank. She loses the plot. So don't let yourself go to that level in the first place. You are responsible for recognizing when it's going down too much. Notice that, oh, you know what, I'm not able to chant properly, I'm not able to give, but oh, right, I need to pull back slightly. Learn to say no. Sometimes for some people it's very hard. Or at least, you don't have to say no, you can say next time, or you need to give me a bit more time, or whatever, it's some softener. You don't have to directly say, go and authorize Prabhu and says, can you give class? No! Don't need to be so harsh, do it softly. Maybe it means you need a bit more time. Maybe it means extend the deadline. But understanding yourself, understanding your needs, and then facilitating those needs. Because I'm just going to be real with you here, nobody else is going to do it for you. That's the truth. Nobody else is going to. If you don't do it, if you don't stand up for yourself, nobody else is going to do it. Because guess what happens? The more you give what? The more they say, oh, this person's giving, oh, I'll take a bit more, oh, this person, oh, I'm going to take a bit more. So be aware of that. So self-love means to understand yourself, know your limits. Before you get to burnout, notice it. Stop it before. That's mode of goodness. Mode of passion and mode of ignorance is very much like that. We give mode of passion, and then we crash, and then totally mode of ignorance, and then we get into mode of passion again, give, and then crash again like that. Mode of goodness means no. You will get me, I'm reliable as much as possible all of the time. Because I know my limits. So you have to work towards that. What time is it?
Boga is being offered.
Boga is being offered us, so we have to wait. How long left? 5 minutes. Okay, we've got 5 minutes.
Yeah, so you mentioned how there's a limit to how much we can give. But then it's like, okay, then there's the element of empowerment. And then sometimes we feel really empowerment that it's coming to us. But other times we're like, yeah, I'm able to go past that point of protecting my things. But then other times I'm just like drained, like anything. So then how do you know that point where, I don't know how you should say, but the level of empowerment and the level of, okay, we stock, we take back.
So some things are, you feel empowered and you can push further than what you may have expected.
Yeah, like the devotees when making CC, they 2 months they did it. That's
Yeah.
like impossible.
Yeah.
But
They did.
then why didn't they say, oh, but this is too much?
Yeah. So for example, the devotees who made the CC, they did it in 2 months. But why didn't they say, oh no, that we ain't going to be able to do that? So you have to take, sometimes there'll be risks that you take and you'll only know that afterwards. But that's the process of, well, let's call it like this. I'm not trying to copy the book, but it's the process of journey. It's the journey of self-discovery. It's the journey of you're going to try something and you'll start to realize. You'll start to, but only when you explore it, only when you do it, will you realize. It's like, how do you know what is the right career for you? How do you know? You have to do it. You have some idea, and even when you start, sometimes it's like that. You start a career and then gradually you realize actually this isn't the real career, and maybe it's a slight shift this way, maybe it's a complete shift different way. It's a journey of self-discovery. You have to understand yourself. So some things you won't know until you do it, but then you learn from it. Or it means you increase whatever it is you need to increase to be able to do that next time. Make the adjustments, exactly. So mode of goodness means having that awareness, that mindfulness, that I'm also observing myself, I'm also understanding myself. While mode of passion is what? Yay! There's no mindfulness, there's no thinking about it properly. Just all guns blazing. So yes, so do it also with some mindfulness. Of course, an example of Kirtan Charitamrita, of course, we've got Srila Prabhupada's empowerment, is the direct instruction. You've got a direct instruction, so understand this, when you get a direct instruction from a great devotee, the empowerment to do that task comes with the instruction. But when it's for you, it's slightly different. So that you might have to push yourself, yeah. You have to pray and you have to get guidance from within and from other devotees as well.
Could I ask you one thing?
Sure.
In current days, many employers wouldn't let anyone to say no.
The current employers won't let anybody say no.
That's
Okay.
In corporate culture, it's mode of passion.
Mode of passion, definitely. So what do you have to do?
Leave the corporate.
No. That comes later. What can you do? They're giving you a task to do, and they're giving you a deadline to do it. What can you do? Yeah, negotiate. That's what I'm saying. Don't just say no. Then they will fire you. Negotiate. Be realistic. And what happens is, when you don't do it according to their deadline, and anyway you do it according to your negotiated deadline, guess what will happen? Guess what will happen? They'll okay, that person said they were only going to be able to do it by then, and they did it by then, what they said. So then they'll start to realize, okay, yes, that person, they'll start to respect that. Or, I mean, if they really need it at that particular date, and then you don't do it, and then they decide to fire you, right, maybe that's good for you. But it depends on your values. We'll have to look at that situation individually and decide what's good for you. But at least at the beginning, negotiate. What do we do? Okay, boss. Yes, boss. You can't do it. You can't do it when you say yes. That's not very clever. So here what we're talking about is setting, we're beginning with E-X-P, expectations. Set expectations properly, nicely. Like that. So that requires good communication. But first of all, know yourself and then set good expectations.
Most corporates and management, they don't have any mercy in them.
They don't have any mercy, yeah.
Deadlines, they want deadlines, yeah, they want.
See,
if you negotiate, say you have got a problem, you need to do your work.
corporate means what? Corporate's all about what? Corporate is all about? Business is all about? Money. It's all about money. So you need to think like that. So if something like there was the one devotee who was talking to me yesterday, he actually gave up his job because it was having such a detrimental effect on him that he actually he resigned. I was like, that's good, that's correct. Even if it means temporary, okay, there's some little bit of loss of income, but at least you got his sanity. The corporates are like that, and they're just deadline, and it's driving you mad. That's not good for you. Remember, we're here, not short term, we're here long term. You have to think long term. So maybe it means you have to find something different. I'm a coach, so I always say that wherever is your internal consciousness is reflected by the external. So whatever's happening to you externally is a reflection of what's going on internally. So if there is a problem externally, first look inside. There's something I'm doing wrong. How am I attracting this? Excuse my bad language. How am I attracting this stupid boss? How have I got into this situation in this department with this manager? And then maybe what happens is you change your internal consciousness and you end up jumping to another, maybe even the same company, a different department, and you have a much nicer manager because you attracted it. If our vibration is like, if our frequency is like this, we'll attract somebody of this, we'll attract the same frequency. If our frequency is like this, higher frequency, we'll attract something of a high frequency. So sometimes it requires us to change our frequency, our thinking, our internal consciousness. And maybe I'll just finish with this. So it's important that we tell Super Soul what it is that we're looking for in our life. I'll say that again. It's important that we tell our Super Soul what it is that we're looking for. When you get into a taxi, like I got into Drew's car, you put the Google, the Waves app on, the Google map on. What's the Google map asking for? Destination. But we say, we either say I don't know, we say something very vague. I want to go to Manchester. Is that going to get me here? You put in Manchester, I ended up in the city centre. Like, why did you bring me here? Well, did you tell the sat-nav exactly where you want to go? Did you tell the sat-nav exactly where you wanted to go? No. So similarly, if you want to have a nice job where you can practice your Krishna consciousness nicely, you've got a good salary, and the deadlines are reasonable and you can make it, tell Krishna, tell Super Soul that. This is what I want for my career. And the rest is up to him. Jai Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Shri Ram Lakshman Hanuman ji ki Jai. What the deity's name? Not those deities. The deities. I've never seen a Radha Gokula.
Nitai.
Oh, you just call him Gauritai. Shri Shri Gauritai ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Gokula Nanda ki Jai. Shri Shri Panchatattva ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Raise your hands if you really love the class. What an amazing class actually. So that's why we say ISKCON is a spiritual university, where they teach not only the theory but also the practicals. So many points. I humbly request all of you to go through the class again on YouTube and send the link to all your near and dear and ask them to hear this class. This is very, very, very important. So how can we apply Krishna consciousness in our daily life? Particularly the points Prabhuji made on that, self-love. So we have to love yourself also. You are included. Not only loving others, you are. See, such a voluntary organization, devotees serve the temple voluntarily. There is a concept that the management or senior devotees exploit the servants and used for services. Yeah. If it is the case, you don't expect such type of class where Prabhuji is clearly saying you have to say no if you can't. And you have to love yourself in addition to loving others. Yeah. So Satish Prabhu will post, in Prasadam serving the group. Yeah. So I want volunteers, volunteers.
No.
After the class, Nitai will not come back.
Yeah. Don't say
No, then I'll have to come back to explain.
to give the medicine again. Yeah, don't say not available, self-love. Not available, self-love. No.
You still have to push yourself,
Exactly.
but know your limit.
Exactly. So we have to be very genuine, in understanding the concept of this class. Yeah. I humbly request all of you, one, Hare Krishna Mahamantra for, Nitai Kirtan Prabhu. Very loudly.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
May I request one more for all the devotees from Birmingham? All the devotees from Birmingham, can you raise your hands? No, sorry. The devotees from Birmingham who came with this, so please also maybe one for them as well, especially my driver.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. So, and the thanks to Nataraj Prabhu for inviting Prabhuji. So otherwise we don't get such a beautiful class, definitely, on this auspicious occasion. So there are no sponsors for today's program. If anyone would like to sponsor for fish, garlands, whatever you wish, you can sponsor. So because we didn't have any sponsors for today's program, you can speak to Nataraj Prabhu, or you can tell now, or you can tell me separately. So whoever wish. And Kartik month is going to start from Thursday. Yeah. So Thursday we will have a key lamp offering in the temple. Always, every year, in the first day we do key lamp offering. We sing Damodara prayers and do the key lamp offering in the temple. If you wish to come, you can come and participate. There won't be any prasada, but the key lamp offering on the first day of Kartik always we have in the temple. Please come. Otherwise, so start offering key lamp from your own. Those who are new on how to celebrate this Damodara month, offering key lamps, what prayers to recite. You can contact any of our devotees, they will tell you. And how to make key lamps. It's very easy. So they will train you. Please don't miss. Kartik month is very, very auspicious. And also we do house programs every year for on Kartik month. Devotees invite to their houses and do the Damodara program. So we do it. If any of you want to have a house program in your house, please let me know so that we will book that day. Okay. And Govardhan festival, the venue is confirmed. It's Saint Margaret School here near to our temple. Very recently we celebrated 6-hour Kirtan also. So that is available from the evening. So the program will be from evening. And again, devotees, I humbly request, if you want to sponsor anything for Govardhan festival also, please speak to Nataraj. Okay. So we will have Arati.
We'll have some volunteers to serve prasadam and to clean this room and
Exactly. Yes, this is very, very important. The service is very. We need some volunteers to help in kitchen, washing the vessels, and also to serve here. Serving, maybe you can speak to Satish Prabhu. But we need mainly volunteers for kitchen. Please help us. So can you raise your hands? Who can help in kitchen? Okay, Mataji, 1, 2. Can you remember? Okay, so that you can guide them. Okay, one Mataji here, one Prabhuji is there. Anyone else? Okay, there is one Mataji. Okay, please take the prasadam front in the queue. Okay, No need to wait in the queue because you have a service. Take prasad, then you can go to the kitchen and Sapana Prabhu will bring it. Okay. So thank you very much. We will have Aarti now. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, Raghunath Prabhu, very beautiful Kirtan. Quick announcement is like, this year first time we are introducing burning the Ravan. Yeah. So devotees made some arrangements and it is going to happen where, backside or?
I think Madhvi Mataji and Rashmi Mataji is there in the backyard.
Backyard, so yeah, so backyard, there is a small event of like burning the Ravan. Yeah, they made some arrangements. You can participate in that one and you can enjoy that program also. In addition to burning the Ravan within our heart, what Prabhuji said, we are burning the Ravan like this also. Okay, so either you can take prasadam or you can. Is it now?
I think they said they were making it, but I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, either now take prasadam or you can enjoy. Hare.
Hare Krishna.
After prasadam.
Outside.
Back side.